identity. And I always love talking about this topic of conversation because identity plays a huge big part in all of our life. I really wanted to make a really strong message that it's regulated by the mind. And identity is a very fickle thing, so it's constantly changing. And I find it to be really interesting how a lot of people get caught up in these identities that are regulated by the mind, and the mind holds our beliefs, our values. And so our identity gets really caught up in all of this. None of this really matters. These beliefs, are these really something that benefits your identity, or is it something that's holding you back? I always talk about identity, and I talk about what is it that you're allowing affect it, because the mind regulates it. So your beliefs, your generalizations of the world, your values, that's really important, and that builds a part of your integrity. So it's really important to have a really good sense of what the mind actually does for your identity, and why it's really important to understand that. And I'll get into the mind in the awakening, but it's really, really important that as identity builds, it's really good to get a grasp on your beliefs and capture those beliefs. I find that that's probably one of the most powerful things that you can do. What are you actually telling yourself? And what's actually going on within, and your self-talk? And I've already talked about this in phase 1. Really, really important, especially when it comes to identity. It's all regulated by the mind. Always regulated by the mind. So it's really, really important to understand what's actually going on in the mind. And I'm not talking about the conscious, I'm talking about the unconscious or subconscious or whatever you want to call it. I'm talking about something that's bigger than you, something that your tiny little ego can't understand, the one that keeps you back because it's trying to keep you safe. And I talk about safety in identity, and it's just one of those things in life where I feel that the only safe space is within. And that's the only thing that you can ever do in life, is go within. And I find that the mind really keeps you either attached to the external. So that's why I talk about codependency and being attached. That's that release of non-attachment to the external and working within. And that's where identity really sits. And we're constantly changing anyway. We change to certain reactions, certain experiences. So it's really important to have a mind and a belief set, values and generalizations that allow you to really become that trusting in spirit and trusting in who you really are. Not all these masks and all this shit that you put up towards other people, but to actually learn who you are. Learn how great you are and build that self-esteem, build that confidence. So it's really about having the identity and having a mind that supports your identity in any given situation in your life is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, but one of the most rewarding. So it's really important to have a look at the mind and have a look at what you're telling yourself. Have a look at the beliefs, have a look at your values. That's really, really important.